Hi! In this video I'll show you how I rebuilt the entire audio system for the Unity 3D game kit, replacing the original audio with a fully customized setup in Wwise, creating a brand new sound design from the ground up. We'll go through three main areas: how I design ambient sound with variety, randomization and spatialization, how I handled characters and enemies, and finally how I approached interactive elements like doors and switches. For the environments, I started by creating a simple atmospheric bed, a continuous loop of natural sound that works as foundation for our soundscape. On top of that, I added spot sounds to bring variety and unpredictability. Using Wwise random containers, I automated parameters like stereo spread and distance from the listener. This way, each sound feels dynamic and unique, while keeping the system lightweight for the game engine. For the river, I've implemented a looping sound attached to a game object which follows a spline, so that a single emitter follows the player along the river whenever they are nearby. Finally, I created triggered zones across the map, and with Wwise Room and Portal, I assigned different reverberation profiles to each area. To further diversify the soundscape, I parameterized ambient volumes using Wwise RTPCs so that each environment reacts consistently and feels distinct. For the characters, I focused on making the audio highly responsive to gameplay. The player's footsteps, for instance, adapt to the surface type using Wwise switches. To avoid repetition, I used random containers with pitch and volume variation, ensuring each footstep feels natural and dynamic. For the enemies, I played a similar approach, but with their own unique behaviors. In particular, the final boss required a very specific design. The monster can only be damaged from behind, so I created a core sphere sound that represents its weak spot. Using cone attenuation in Wwise, I made this sound audible only from behind the boss. In this way, the audio itself guides the player, encouraging them to move to the right position and strike where the monster is vulnerable. Combined with directional roars and heavy movement sound, the system makes the boss feel massive and intimidating, while also turning sound design into a direct gameplay mechanic. For the interactive sounds, I wanted the audio to be functional but also meaningful. A good example is the end of the map, where there is a large door that can only be opened by unlocking 3 gem switches. These switches can be activated in any order, so I used a sequence container in Wwise to control the feedback. To clearly mark the moment when the last gem is unlocked, I designed a 3-note sequence, with the final note being the tonic. In this case, C, to clearly mark the moment when the last gem is unlocked. Thanks to the sequence container, the notes are always played in the same order, no matter how the player chooses to activate the switches. This creates a subconscious sense of progression. The player hears the first 2 notes as steps forward, and the tonic as the resolution. The audio not only provides feedback, but also communicates structure and guides the player through the puzzle. This project shows my approach to game audio, where sounds goes beyond decoration to boost immersion, guide gameplay, and improve overall experience. If you'd like to see more of my work or get in touch, you'll find a link to my portfolio in the description. Thanks for watching!